Hi everyone, Paige here from the Fourandhalf account management team. Today we're going to talk about property management SEO, the basics, what it is, just kind of fill you in on what you need to know to get everything started in that. Or if you're just now thinking about it, just get a good intro. So property management SEO has multiple components. A lot of people just think that it involves optimizing your website, but there's also outside factors with that. Just because it doesn't mean only optimizing your website, that doesn't mean that that's not the starting ground for doing it. Definitely your website is how SEO starts, but it's not the only component. So starting with the website, there's a couple of things you really want to make sure that you have included in your website to make sure that it's optimized for searchability. One that's super important is you want to make sure that as much as you can, you're involving your local service area. Google definitely favors local businesses, local searches. So having that service area in the text, in different components of your website, having different pages dedicated to services in that area definitely helps Google gather information of where you're serving. With that, another super important thing is to really explain what you do. Explain your services, explain what kind of property management you're doing, whether it be you're focusing on single family, maybe you do commercial properties. All that information is really important just to establishing your business, to give Google more information to put you in front of the right eyes. So definitely at the end of the day, if you're gathering something that has to do with website SEO, rule of thumb, basically just make sure that you're keeping in mind that Google is getting the information from what you're telling them. So obviously the more you're telling them, the more information they have to work with, the less they have to work with. Another thing you want to keep in mind when optimizing your page, optimizing your website for searchability is some people may say, oh, it's just most important to only focus on your service area and property management and shove those keywords in your text, shove them wherever you can. That's not necessarily the case. It's important to hit those every once in a while, and it's important to let Google know what your business is and where you are, but there's much different values of information that Google can use. One way that you can definitely capitalize on this is definitely do a little bit of research, think about what your ideal client is searching for, and develop content on that. What that does is it really takes, it doesn't only take initiative for you updating your website and keeping people relevant, it does take into account, gathers that information, and lets people know that you want to answer questions that people are searching for. And it's a way to optimize your website for not just property management and your service area, because that can get really competitive, because chances are everyone else, all your competitors in that area are doing the same thing. So really think about not just the basics, what they're looking for, property management in your area, but really look into what their pain points are and develop content around that. All right, outside of the website. Let's get to what you can do outside of tweaking your website to have yourself be found on Google. One really important thing that some people overlook is social pages. Social pages are great for sharing information, keeping people up to date, but it also provides a good presence for Google to look at, that you're not just present on your website, you're present on other outlets like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. You're able to be found and you're able to be updating people on information without just using your website. So that's definitely something that you want to keep in mind and keep up to date with, just to make sure that you're covering all your bases. Two other really important ways that you can gain SEO value without your website are certain concepts like guest blogging, writing an article for another company. Offsite SEO is also really important. Just getting in contact with your network, having them provide backlinks on their website back to your website. Basically, offset SEO, anything that you're doing off your site to get those points are really important. Both of those concepts we have videos on, so check them out on our website. With all this SEO, it's definitely good to keep in mind that just optimizing your website or doing the little things to optimize different platforms around you, it's not just a one and done sort of deal. You really want to make sure that you're maintaining it and ultimately doing your research to make sure that you're on top of the latest trends. You're kind of up to date with how Google's shifting, because the Google platform and just searchability in general is always changing. Fourandhalf, we do research constantly to see how Google's changing, what's working, what's not. So definitely do your research. Don't just research one form of optimizing. Research just on multiple platforms what can give you the best results. Do some A/B testing, really figure out what's working. It does take a little bit of effort, but it's definitely worth it in the long run. If you have any questions about SEO for your property management company or just property management online marketing in general, please give us a call at 4 1/2.